Yeah, well, Michigan had a phenomenal.
And participate in the conversation
I'll wait.
with hashtag CFB Playoff.
Okay. Is it picking up now? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, so Michigan's defense was obviously, so great and they played so well, but I think with Georgia you've seen, obviously Coach Smart being a defensive guy and the talent that they have on, that side of the ball and their coaching staff, it's going to be a real challenge for us. We know what they are as a team. They've been so great on defense and creating trouble and challenges for all offenses this year. So we know it's going to be hard, but, we're looking forward to it. I think it kind of depends, kind of game plan wise and how the game's playing out. Certain things happen, whether you have designed quarterback runs or whether it's in drop back stuff when they're playing man, all the backs are turned to me and I'm able to run. I assume that they would have something kind of ready, eyes on the backfield, things of that sort. But it kind of just depends on the game. If you're able to use them and use it as an advantage, I'm going to. But we'll just kind of see how the game turns out.
With you guys playing in so many four games, I mean, at what point did it become you guys were just in a comfort zone almost when you're in all these close games, and how much does that give you confidence in this?
Yeah, it helps a ton, being in such, close games and, the whole season hasn't been pretty, but be able to, be in tight games and have to face some adversity and be able to come back from deficits and have to, when things get tight at the end of games, we're not going to panic. And I think when you get in a couple games like that, like we have this year, and, be successful and win those games, it puts confidence in us that we know we can do it. We know, the plan to do it and how to prepare for it. So I think, we're comfortable in that position. Yeah, I guess in our eyes for our program, I guess we don't really see it as a Cinderella story. We believe in ourselves, and we feel like we've earned this position, and obviously we know what type of challenge is in front of us with Georgia and how great they are, offensively, defensively, special teams, the staff that they have. But I think it's just a great opportunity for us, and that we're looking forward to it. I think for myself, I've been fortunate enough to play in a lot of football games in college, be around a lot of great leaders when I was younger, the seniors that I had and I was able to learn from, see how they, handle challenges. I think for our team as well, we have a lot of guys, a lot of seniors, a lot of veterans that have played in a lot of big-time football games and have, matured over their years of college and understand, how to be that guy in those moments. But I think it just all starts with Coach Dykes, and the culture he brought in, Coach Cos, our strength coach, of implementing that mindset and maturity and, being treated like a professional and acting that way just kind of every day. And I think it's helped us. I think it's just, acting as a professional and being treated like a professional, not as a kid. They put a lot of trust in us. They put a lot on our plates to hold each other accountable, to be disciplined, to be detailed, and treat yourself as a professional. Because in our eyes, in the day of college football, that's how you are. Yeah, we know that we haven't won a national title since 1938, but we've had so many great teams, prior in those years. We've had a lot of great years of football and a lot of teams that have built up this program to get us to this point. But in our eyes, we're not really worried too much about that. We're worried about this team, this year, the game that is at hand right now. And it'd be, pretty incredible, though, to bring a national championship back to Fort Worth. It's been a long time. Yeah, it just speaks a lot to Coach Dykes and what he brought into our culture and this program. there was a lot to be, built up on this program, and we were in a good spot, but I think we just needed, just Coach Dykes coming in and bringing his mindset, that he's had, that he's been successful at different programs, and allowing us to be confident and be ourselves. And I think that's what's really helped us kind of have a turn. Yeah, no, it was a hard decision. I think in my eyes, I was ready for it, and it was something that I thought a lot about. But I think in the moment and the things that are happening in this year, I've been able to accomplish a lot with my teammates in this program in the 4 years, and this year has been pretty incredible. Graduating at TCU, just kind of the timing of being here 4 years and playing a lot, I think was kind of the determining factor of it. It was just something that I was ready for, and I thought was the best timing for myself and my family. But it was a hard decision, and there was a lot of thought going into it. Oh yeah, sorry. They said they couldn't register. Sorry. Oh, okay, so I don't need to lean forward then. Oh, okay. I'm just listening to y'all. Okay. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I saw a clip of that, with Shaq and Kenny and Ernie and all those guys. It's pretty fun to watch. I enjoy watching it. But, yeah, it's pretty incredible to have, our logo and our brand out there and seeing the guys like even those guys, being able to talk about us and be on a national stage and, having our letters out there. It means so much to our fans and our players, our program. And, it's pretty, it's so valuable in an aspect of, advertisement and publicity and all that stuff. So just so much, for our university.
Hey, Max. With the entire football world that has now rallied around the DeMar Hamlin injury, what are your thoughts on when it first happened? And the second part of that is, what is going to be your mindset when you take the field on Monday, seeing that DeMar, his first words were about, did we win? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think just first of all, what a unfortunate and terrible incident that happened. Prayers out to him and his family. The Bills organization, everyone that was involved. I've seen stuff that he's he's doing better right now. So that's incredible to hear. But I think just in today's age, I think a lot of people just get caught up in football and the game and things of that sort. But when you see something like that happen and somebody's life could, possibly be taken away, like that, kind of puts a lot of things into perspective of, there's a lot bigger things in this world, than a game right now. And seeing the guys, seeing the football world and community and just everyone around kind of surround him and his family and support him has been pretty incredible because, just there's so much support and people and around and so much love for them. And I think it just puts a lot of things into perspective of what's really important.
Thanks, Max.
Yeah, no, we've learned a ton about ourselves. I think when adversity hits, you can learn so much just about what type of program you are, what type of men that you have in that locker room when bad things happen. But, we were able to kind of go through some adversity, being down in a lot of games, coming back from deficits, home and away, other things happening. But you learn to fight, you learn to keep believing in each other, trust in our coaching staff and the values and roots that we have as a program, in our culture. And it's helped us get to this point because, college football season, it's not always pretty. There's things that go wrong, but, it's how people handle those things, how you're going to end up at the end of the season. And, we're fortunate enough to be in this position because of, the values that we've set for our program. I think it's kind of been amongst our program, but I think the great thing that Coach Dykes does is put confidence in us, and it allows us to be ourselves and play loose. And, it allows our players to go out there on Saturdays and be aggressive and be bold within themselves. And, it helps a lot when you hear it from Coach Dykes every day, in team meetings or practice before we go out, for games in the locker room. He knows that there's a lot of confidence in us, and he believes in us, and the coaching staff believes in us, and just allows us to go out there and be ourselves on Saturdays. I think that has, been the biggest impact on us. Yeah, no, so we were out there for a couple of days, and I was with him and CJ and Caleb for most of the time. We were always with each other, but getting to be with Stetson and learn his story and his why and get to know him, meet his family. I mean, the guy is just an incredible example of what college football is all about. He's a great dude. He's so talented on the field, but, going to Georgia as a walk-on, having to go JUCO and then come back and earn a scholarship and, now being able to play in 2 national championships is pretty incredible. And you just see his drive and his determination and the confidence and belief that he has in himself and his teammates. So it's, it's a great example for a lot of young kids to kind of, look upon. So, yeah, I think it's kind of in ways of not a lot of people really thought you'd be in that position. But I think continuing to believe in yourself and the guys around you, and I think the teammates, have believed in us, and the coaching staff have, believed in us, but continuing to go to work and, do as much as you can, work as hard as you can, treat people right to get to position that we're in. So it's, it's pretty cool to see. I think just coming into this season, something that I kind of wanted to get better at and really make a jump was, downfield accuracy and kind of the deep ball, vertical game. I think it's something that I've worked on that, has been a huge help for us that, has really shown that I think, opposing teams that have understood that we're going to, take shots vertically. We're going to throw it downfield, and, that's what we're going to do. But there's a lot of stuff, that I think that I've tried to work on, whether it's using legs, using my feet, things of that sort that can, opposing teams can look for. But I think kind of the vertical threat is something that I wanted to work on a lot in the offseason. Yeah, no, our O-line, I mean, those guys are, those guys make our offense go. I know they don't get the recognition that they deserve ever, but, I mean, those guys take a mindset every day going in the game that they want to be the best guys out there. They want to be the most physical. They want to make it hard on opposing defenses, and they want to have the run game, kind of be the leader. And then obviously pass pro too, but, I mean, when Kendra goes down, you see Amari come in, and those guys, we leaned on them. They took kind of a chip on their shoulder to help us and lead us in all of our games, especially in Michigan. But going into, Georgia, they understand, what type of D-line that we're going to go against, their linebackers, things of that sort, pressures, all that. But, they're taking a great mindset of they want to be, as tough as they can, as physical as they can, and for us to lean on them. Yeah, I think when we were there, obviously me, CJ, Stetson were fortunate enough to be in the playoff and discuss about that. CJ and Stetson were playing each other, and there was cool conversations of, what could happen, who plays each other, things of that sort. It was a bunch of fun conversations, getting to know those guys. They're all great guys. But, yeah, starting at the beginning of the season, you have expectations for your team, and you have a lot of belief, just like everybody does in fall camp. Everybody thinks they're going to be good. But I think we stayed the course, continued on the journey, listened to Coach Dykes and Coach Cos and everything that they preached to us to get to this point. It was something that, we believed could happen, and it was something that we knew that we could get there, but, there was a lot of hard work to put into that, though. Yeah, it can help a lot. I think in so many different aspects of the game, whether it's, when they have to go 6-man box and, we're in 10 personnel and we have to go zone reads and we have to have that DN account for, me or whoever is in that running back, that causes troubles of them, having to, be disciplined and do, their jobs correctly. Obviously in the throw game, whether it's stuff that breaks down and, I'm able to, create stuff with my feet and, maybe try to go get a first down, whether it's QB design runs. There's just a lot that we can kind of do to kind of create that extra aspect of the game that, we need opponents to scout for. But they know what, they watch film too. They know what they're going to do. They're so well coached. They're talented. They're going to have stuff for us. So we got to make sure that we execute, on our end.
Hey Max, TC has been pretty good for a while and great. Obviously this year there was a time when it was the bottom. And I'm wondering if you have heard fans or players that kind of talk about what it was like in the old days.
Yeah, no, there's been so much support from past players that, back in the Southwest Conference, Mountain West, all the past conferences, the teams that we've had that have so much support for us because, we wouldn't be here without those guys that built up this program. Were tremendous leaders and examples for us and guys that we grew up when we got here that we wanted to be like. There's so many greats, but, there's been a lot of support, a lot of calls, a lot of text messages from guys that are watching us and rooting for us. So it's pretty cool to see all their support. Yeah, it's fun when you get to go play the champ. Obviously the defending champion, and it's like in any sport when you get to go, compete against those guys. It's so much fun because we know how successful Georgia's been and their program. It's been incredible what they've done. Even prior up to the last couple of years, it's truly special what they've done. But we're excited. Not a lot of times you get to go compete against a champion and to be on the same field as them and kind of show what we're all about and compete against them and earn our spot. I think it's something that we're excited about. Hi. I did not know that. Yeah, and, I guess in our eyes, we're not really too worried about that or see it too much. I think it's pretty neat to see a lot of support from people all around the country that get to know the story about TCU, the story about our program. We get to tell our story about that little school in Fort Worth, and I think it's pretty cool that people are starting to kind of recognize TCU, get more eyes on it. I think it just it helps so much for our program, our university. So it's fortunate position to be in. All right, I'll have to. Oh yeah, our social media guys are probably walking around and going to show me a little bit. So. Yeah, it's huge. Obviously our coaching staff does a great job of providing that and plays and concepts for us to learn. I think it helped a ton in fall camp when we were not able to meet, but we're able to be at home and see things of concepts that we're going to run prior up to the next day or that week, and you have the drawings and all that sort of things, and it's been pretty successful for us, and it's been an advantage for us to learn concepts and see it on paper or see it digitally, things of that sort. But our coaching staff has done a great job of implementing it into our program. Yeah, it was something that I didn't really know a whole lot about until our staff showed up, and it was something new. But I was excited about it because whether if I wasn't in the facility with Coach Riley or our offensive staff, I was able to see notes. I was able to see drawings and concepts at home and notes wise. But it was something that I was excited about, because it was something different that we haven't done. Yeah, it was super impactful because obviously we have new concepts and a new offense and things of that sort. So when you have a new offensive coordinator come in and trying to, you know, teach us his philosophy and his terminology, and you don't get all the meeting times with him. You're able to learn it at home. You're able to learn it with your roommates that are on the team, and you guys get to talk about it. Guys on the team get to discuss it when they're not in the facility, and I think that's what's helped us kind of jump start this program is that we're so confident in our offensive philosophy and our concepts, and I think just play help. Yeah, I think with Coach Riley, you knew the introduction of him being an up and coming innovative offensive coordinator. His time at East Carolina and with Lincoln, and then at App State, Kansas. What he did at SMU was pretty evident because we played against him, and you see what he was able to do. But I think just he's such a good person, such a good man that he's so open to new relationships, and he allows you to be yourself, and he's so open of connecting with you and teaching you. He's such a great teacher. But our relationship's been great because we're so open dialogue. Things that I like, things that he likes, things that he sees the way I see them. It's been a great first year kind of getting to work with him. I think just the mindset of not being scared to make a play. He's done so much, and obviously schematic-wise of football, but I think the mindset of being bold and being aggressive and not being afraid to make a play is something that he's really preached to us in the quarterback room and us as an offense, which has helped us, get to this point. Yeah, well, they're pretty talented on defense with their players. I mean, they got studs everywhere. They're twos that come in and give them kind of a fresh breath. Those guys are studs. And then, they're so well coached. Their staff, they know what they're doing. They've been around a long time. They've been really successful on the defensive side of the ball, and they put those guys in spots to be successful. But it's going to be a challenge for us because they're so talented and they're so well coached and disciplined and detailed, and that causes a lot of trouble for a lot of teams. Not a lot of teams are as talented and disciplined like those guys, but they fly around to the ball. They're fast, they're powerful. It's just kind of everything that you want in a team. That a lot of people maybe have just one of those traits. They got all of them. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. We've got to make sure that we execute, we do our job, we don't get behind the sticks, give them momentum. But it's going to be a fun challenge, though, for us. We're excited. Yeah, Quinn makes my job pretty easy. I can just kind of close my eyes and throw it up to him. He usually bails me out. But, I've said all along, Q is he's a different cat out there than a lot of kids. When he's out on the field, he's usually the best player on the field, just as a football player. I mean, what he does with the ball, whether it's down vertical shots, whether it's underneath stuff, he makes things just look so easy, and he's such an impactful player where he can change the game in one play. But the best thing about Q is that he's such a good kid outside of the program or outside of off the field. He's such a hard worker. He's humble. He's a great leader. He's such a good person to be around and hang out with, outside the locker room. So it's pretty cool to see a kid like that that's so humble and so hard working and have the success that he's having.
Last question for me, and I apologize if this has already been asked, but unlikely that you guys are here without Coach Patterson, but just talk about Coach B and just the impact he's had on the team.
Yeah, no, it's been Coach P built this program up. Not a lot of people have done what he's been able to do of staying at a school for so long and taking them through, all the other conferences and getting to the Big 12. And, like I said, there's so many other teams that came through this program that built this program up, whether it was, Andy and the Rose Bowl team, the 2014 team. Coach P had so many great teams with, back in the day when, the early 2000s, what Coach P was able to do was, create values and roots for this program to set us up to be in this position, and we wouldn't be here without everything that he did for us. Yeah, we know how good they are, and we understand that, there's going to be opportunities that, if they come up that we got to, take advantage of it, whether it's, hitting a hole in a run fit, whether it's, maybe scrambling on a third and long, things of that sort. But we understand that they're a disciplined group, they're a detailed group. Coach Smart is going to get them right, have them ready to go. But we understand that there's not going to be a lot of opportunities, where we're going to have easy stuff. So we got to make sure that we're executing well, we're focused up, and we do our job well. I don't know if there's a lot of separation. I think there's so many similarities of just belief in yourself and continuing to work hard and believe in the guys around you and the support staff that you have. I think that's the biggest thing that you kind of see, amongst us. And it's pretty special to see what Stetson's done in his career and the position that he's been able to be in, playing for 2 national titles, the success that he's had as a player. So it's pretty special. Yeah, well, you know how special he is. You see everything that he's done, and where he's projected right now. He's such a stud, and he causes so many troubles for opposing offensive lines and teams because he's so impactful. Whether it's him actually making plays and causing disruptions, or him taking on double teams and allowing one-on-ones for other guys up on his defensive line. But I mean, the dude's so powerful. He's so big. He's fast. He's twitchy, and he just causes so much, issues for a lot of teams. And we got to make sure that we're aware where he's at and make sure that we have him, kind of dialed in because we know it's going to be a big challenge for us. Yeah, no. Q's dad was obviously a big help because obviously with him we wouldn't be here. So having him on our team has been so incredible, and I think it speaks to what he's done, what Coach Kelly's done with him and building him up as a player. And I mean, the kid's just so special, and he's helped us so much. He's so invaluable, and he makes my job really easy. Yeah, I think it's something that we just haven't really listened to anybody or anything outside of our walls or outside of our program. We saw ourselves how we see ourselves, and I think that was the big thing, is that we had belief in ourselves as a team, our program, our coaching staff, and we just stayed the course. We've been through adversity, we've had deficits, things of that sort, but continuing to believe in ourselves and continuing to fight and overcome adversity has really helped us. It's something that I've been, extremely proud of our team. Yeah, it's pretty special because we have so many guys. A lot of production came back. A lot of guys that have been here for a lot of years that when we haven't been that good, that we've been kind of down. But to see those guys stay the course and continue to fight and believe and just be with all the guys in this locker room has been pretty cool. And to see them have success and be in this position is, I'm proud of all of them. Yeah, we got to execute better. I think it's something that we didn't do a great job against Michigan. Obviously, our defense bailed us out a lot. We had some big explosive plays, but we have to execute, play in and play out better. Whether it's our scheme, game plan, we got to do a better job as players of, having successful plays, because if we don't do that against Georgia, we're going to get beat. It was nothing that was surprising to me or our guys. We knew what type of player Amari's been. He's been so impactful. He's had so many big games for us. He's even this year and the last couple of years of being here. So there's no surprise. We knew, what he was, and, just so proud of him because, he works so hard. He's such a humble kid. He's a good leader. He's a good person. So to see him get that spot, on in that moment was pretty special for him. I think, we're not really thinking about it that much. We're not too worried about it. It's our team versus their team on a Monday night. Whoever's going to be better that night. We what type of team they are and how talented they are. But, in our eyes, we have a lot of belief in us as a team. We understand how good Georgia is, and we know it's going to be a challenge, and we got to play really, really well to beat them. But, it's an opportunity that we're excited to be a part of. I think it starts with Coach Dykes and the culture that he brought into us. That he puts a lot of confidence and belief into us of what we are as players, what we are as people. And I think it starts seeing the work and preparation that started last January, with Coach Cos and the strength staff, of all the stuff that we did leading up to this position. We know the work that we've put into it, and I think that's where that kind of belief comes from. Yeah, Jordan is, such a talented player, and to see his work ethic, come on. The thing about Jordan is that, whether you see guys that are highly recruited and come in with a lot of expectation, sometimes it's hard to deal with those guys. Jordan's not that guy. Jordan is an easygoing guy. He's such a hard worker. He loves his teammates. He loves to practice. He loves to play. He's so talented. When he gets a shot to go into the game, he makes a lot of big-time plays. But even when he doesn't have the ball, what a lot of people don't understand, he's a phenomenal blocker. He makes so many big-time plays. Last week, Q's, long run in the late in the game, Jordan had a huge block that, kind of propelled that. So I think he's just such a great teammate, and it's pretty exciting to see what he's been doing.
You said it took him a little while to build some trust with you. You kind of had to feel him out. What was that process like?
Yeah, I think when a young kid comes in there and you get to know each other and, how he runs routes, how his mindset is, as a route runner, his body movements, things like that sort, you learn as you kind of go. But yeah, there's a lot of trust in him on my end. I'm going to let it fly to him. I trust him in a lot of big-time moments. I'll go to him. So it's been pretty fun to see his growth. Yeah, he's been so much help this season. I know not even just last game. He's done so much for us in the run game and pass protection. He's a great leader. So, we're glad we have him. He's been so much help. He's the reason why we're here today. So it's been pretty special to see his growth and, his work ethic really show up on Saturdays. Yeah, it helps a lot to have, leadership in that room. We have a lot of young guys. So to have Amar, who's playing a lot of big-time games and has a lot of success, and being a veteran has just been so valuable for us. And it's awesome to see the success that he's had on the field, and obviously continue to lead those guys in that room. My grade? Oh, my grit. Oh, I don't know. I try to pride myself on it, maybe trying to be up there around, around the 8s, 9s, things like that. So that's why I hope to try to play like and have that grit, mindset and toughness. So it's I try to be, like those guys that have played before us, that have built this program out, that have played gritty, played tough, played hard. It's something that I kind of pride myself on. I'd probably say resilient. I mean, those guys continuing to fight back and believe in each other and get through adversity and not let, something bad happen kind of affect them and impact their mindset in this team. So continuing to get through a lot of hardships, continuing to fight through adversity and be themselves to get to this point. So it's been really proud of all the guys on this team to see where how they've grown. I think it's something that you kind of need as a quarterback because, nothing's ever pretty. It's nothing like you're ever going to have a clean pocket. There's bad stuff that's going to happen, where you're going to miss a block. Someone's going to run the wrong route. I'm going to miss a throw. Stuff's going to happen in the pocket where it's messy. So I think you need to be calm under chaos, and I think you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and I think it's what a lot of the greats have done. You see our coaches have talked about, if you want to be great, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. There's going to be a lot of chaos, and I think you want to be, want to thrive in that position, and it's something that, I want to be like, and I've tried to, build upon being like that. Yeah, sometimes after a game, I don't feel too good. But I know that guys on our O-line, guys on the defense, our running backs probably feel a lot worse. So there's nothing for me to kind of complain about or feel sorry for myself, because I know those guys get beat up way more than I do, and they don't get the recognition that they deserve, amongst the media. So I kind of just take it to the chin. I don't really complain about it, because I know guys are going through it way worse than I am. Yeah, I think it started last January with Coach Kaz coming in, the strength staff of the mindset and the hard work and the things that we did building up to this moment. I think it just starts with preparation and being in those moments where you continue to believe. You've been through a lot of hard stuff and continue to believe in each other. This team, this coaching staff. So it's just been a lot of confidence in us when we get into those moments that it's not going to be too big of a moment. We're going to stay the course and just be ourselves. I think that's where it kind of starts from. Yeah, what they do defensively is pretty special. They're so well coached, they're so talented. They do a lot of different things, whether it's in coverage, whether it's with their backers, pressures up front, things of that sort. So we know what they're going to be like. It's going to be a challenge for us because of how good they are. But I think something that we need to do is that we got to execute at a higher level than we did against Michigan, because we know that if we don't execute or we don't have those opportunities that we kind of take, it's going to be a long night for us, because we know how good they are and the challenge that they provide. Yes, sir. I think there's just a lot of belief in our program and our team. That starts with Coach Dykes and the culture that he brought into us. But we're not really too focused on what people are saying outside our walls, outside our program. We see ourselves and I think that's all that matters. When the ball rolls out there, we got to play the game still. So it doesn't really matter what other people are saying. I think it's something that we've shown all year is that we're an explosive offense. We're a physical offense. Defensively, we make a lot of plays. We're tough. We're physical. Special teams, we got a lot of playmakers. We're well coached, and I think we've been able to execute this year and fight through some adversity, deficits, things of that sort. And I think it's going to be a fun game. I think those are some of the reasons why we're going to have a shot. But it's going to be a hard challenge for us. Sir. Yeah, no, Amari's been such an incredible person to play with. Obviously our friendship started, when I showed up here as a freshman. He's been here a while, and I've been able to play with him. So our relationship, our friendship is incredible, because he's such a good person to be with outside the locker room, off the field. But on the field, he's such a special player. What he does, whether it's running the ball, whether it's in pass row, being a leader for our team, being a leader in the running back room. He never complains about touches, never complains about reps, things of that sort. When he gets his opportunity, he goes in there, and he's a big reason why we're here today.
What's up, Max? First question, how would you describe your leadership style? And second, apparently Drake loves TCU on Monday. Are you worried about the Drake?
Yeah, so I think starting off with leadership style, I think, the there's a lot of things, and I think it's just taking ownership of these guys around us and, caring more about them than myself, putting them in better positions to be successful, things of that sort. I think that's kind of my leadership style. Regards to Drake, I didn't know that he was on the Frogs, but, hopefully we're not going to worry too much about, that stuff. Hopefully we can get a win for him. I think staying the course, continue to play our game, be ourselves. I think when stuff got tight, we were able to make plays, in critical situations and believe in ourselves. We have to execute at a higher level. I think that's something that we're going to take with us. That we need to do a better job, coming into this week. Yeah, probably when I was a freshman or sophomore, when I was able to kind of have opportunities to run. I think it was not something you see a whole lot of, quarterbacks being able to run. And I think track helped me so much of the speed work and the workouts that I was able to do because, I was able to, be a better athlete that way because of track, and it shows up on Saturdays where you can kind of run away from guys, angles, foot speed, things of that sort. I think guys were able to kind of start understanding I was maybe able to run probably freshman or sophomore year. Yeah, I've been, my parents have been saying there's a lot of purple going around. I've had a lot of text messages and calls from people that are supporting us. I think a lot of watch parties around restaurants and bars up there in Council Bluffs on Monday night, so it's pretty special to have that support from all those people up home. What was that? Yeah, I think there was a lot of thought. It was a hard decision, but it was something that I was ready for, and I thought I was ready for with the timing of, we were able to accomplish a lot in our 4 years here as a team. I was able to graduate, in December at TCU, so a lot of things that kind of just set up the timing that, I was ready for, but, it was a hard decision. How's it going? Would I not let date my sister? Probably Steve Avila right there. That's probably the first option. Who's the most famous person in my phone? I don't know. Probably like Quentin, honestly. Quentin's probably the most famous one I got. So the weirdest thing I eat? Honestly, I don't eat a whole lot on game day. I get I'm just that kid where, I don't know if it's nerves, things of that sort, but, I try to do as much as I can with nutrition, but nothing too crazy. It's like sandwiches, applesauce, things of that sort, so nothing that's too weird, I don't think. How's it going? Yeah, I think we had I think we saw ourselves with the production that we had coming in and with Coach Dykes, and we understood that was an opportunity that we could have had, but there was a lot of hard work to get put into it. We didn't know how the season was going to go. You never really know how things are going to go, but I think you believe you can be in this position, and we worked hard to be in this position, and now, we're here, and we got to execute at a high level against Georgia. We know how good they are, and the problems that they create for us. So we just got to make sure that, we're on our game, we're doing our job, execute at a high level, and, hopefully we'll be successful.
So, I got to ask Coach Katz, I've seen how much you guys reason why you guys have a certain culture. He said he spent more time with you guys than he does himself. So, how much have you been in influence strength and conditioning coach on your guys' mentality and your physical?
Yeah, Coach Gaz has done, he's so valuable for us and what he creates for us and the culture he brings in, whether that's in strength conditioning, whether it's, sports psych and the mindset he creates. But I think the great job is that he's such an open person. He's been in the moment. He's been in these positions, and he creates for that. Obviously he has such a great staff with, Coach Bolt, that's our speed coach, that does a great job of creating that. Coach RJ works heavily with quarterbacks, sports dietitian, Coach TB, Coach Rev, strength and power. So I think that just staff has done a great job of understanding the tools that we need to be successful. They put so much effort into us and so much time, and it's really helped show on Saturdays. Yeah, I was able to spend a lot of time with Stetson and get to hear his story and his why, getting to meet his family. I think it was really, really cool. He's such a good dude, such a fun guy to hang around with. I think that's what's cool about him. Obviously, him as a player, he's such a special player. He's so talented. He makes that team go. Hearing his story of being a walk-on and going to JUCO and coming back and now playing in 2 national championships, it's pretty remarkable, and I think he's just a great role model and kind of a story for a lot of young kids. I think there's just been a lot of belief in ourselves. A lot of people, you start, one way, but to continue to work really hard, believe in yourself, believe in the people that have supported us and gotten to this point, I think are kind of similarities that, we've seen.
Back here.
So, with this Georgia defense, Coach Riley, say that matchup with Ringo, they don't like to give up the deep. And he's a wide receiver that would rather catch a ball 3 yards in front of his line of scrimmage, juke everybody out, have a little big mistake where he's rather than catching it 50 yards down the field. Like Coach Riley said, it's about who gets stronger throughout the game. What do you see as the quarterback against the secondary and against this front where you guys should focus your attack?
Yeah, no. Obviously, they have such good corners and DBs in the back end, so it's gonna be difficult for our receivers. I think our receivers are excited about the opportunity, but I think whoever wants it more, whoever's more focused, whoever's going to execute at a higher level. Obviously, both guys, whether it is matchup, they're going to make plays. Such tremendous players on that end, such a great matchup. But like Coach Riley said, whoever's going to get stronger throughout the game, there's going to be punches thrown back and forth amongst each other play-wise. So whoever's going to continue to fight, continue to believe, longer in the game and make plays is going to be the big reason.
We're going to hear, guys, we've got about 5 minutes left. So.
First question. Who on your team do you feel best embodies bullfrog, and not like a two-seat bullfrog, but like this little animal?
Let's think about this. I'm going to say Gunnar Henderson. He's kind of that smaller guy that doesn't care about anything else. He's going to put his body on the line. He's going to make plays. He's going to get into a dogfight with each other. He's not afraid of anything. So I think that he kind of embodies that horned frog.
Do you give him like shoot blood out of his eyes and geez,
I mean, he has some good energy. He's not someone that you want to mess with. There's a lot of things that you don't want to mess with Gunnar about. So it's pretty cool.
All right, next question. Coach Dykes would get an NIL deal. What would it be?
Oh boy, an NIL deal for Coach Dykes. I don't know, like baseball cards maybe. Maybe him he was a baseball player at Tech. A good baseball player. Maybe him getting into one of those trading cards that you see and get a sign out, all that. So I think that'd be pretty cool for Coach Dykes.
I've heard a lot saying he'd be a great rep for Jordan. Apparently his shoe game is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that is good. Yeah, his shoe game is pretty cool. He's always having something go out, so it's pretty special.
All right, last question. Can you wink?
Can I wink?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that good enough? Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yep. How's it going?
This is probably the most unserious question I've ever had.
Okay.
If you're traveling to Mars, are you traveling up or over?
If I'm traveling to Mars, am I traveling up or over? Up, right? You have to leave the atmosphere, like up. I don't know. Out, maybe. I don't know. I don't know anything about space. That's probably a bad answer. So I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's been pretty cool to see all the the stuff that's happened with us and the image and brand that we've kind of ran within, our fans have, and I think just the college football landscape has had a lot of fun with it. So it's been pretty special, and it's pretty cool to have on our sidelines.
With the entire football community rallying around the Hamlin injury, what were your initial thoughts? And the follow-up to that is, when he first came to, his first words were, "Did we win?" Did you guys use that as a motivational factor as well?
Yeah, I think just initial thoughts was just, a lot of fear and just scared in that moment for him and his family and the guys and coaching staff that were on the field that had to experience it. And I'm glad to hear that he's doing better. But to hear that, he asked if they won, that means that in a moment where, his life could have been taken away, that he was caring about his teammates, his family. He was thinking about the guys that were in the locker room. And it was pretty remarkable to hear someone like that was, in a moment that, he was thinking about other people. So it was pretty remarkable to hear that.
And could that affect your, seeing an injury like that, does that affect your mindset going into Monday's game?
I think it makes guys want to play as hard as they can because you never know when this game could be taken away, and to give as much as you can to the guys that you are with and this coaching staff, to be with them for as long as possible. I think that's kind of something that you want to take with it because you never know when, something could be taken away with you.
Thanks, Max. Good luck.
Hi, Ollie. Good, how are you?
Okay, I wanted to ask you about the Georgia defensive front. If the pocket gets pushed, how are you better and so good at hanging in the pocket and not being under duress and handling that?
I think there's just a lot of trust in my O-line. When things kind of get tight, it's just staying in there, trusting the O-line that they're going to have my back. They're gonna create space for me to be able to throw the ball. And I think that as a quarterback, you want to be that guy that kind of sits in the pocket and allows for, we got studs outside on at receiver to give them a chance to get the ball and not just kind of take off after one read when things kind of get tight, but sitting in the pocket, because I think that's what all the greats do, and you see them do such a great job of sitting in that pocket and being poised and that sort of thing.
Right, and then extended plays with your legs. That's been important for you throughout your career. How do you do it efficiently but also in a smart way?
Yeah, I think it's a tool and it's an advantage for us that we can use. Obviously, I know Georgia's going to be ready for it. They're going to be game plan for it, things of that sort. But when that opportunity, arises to use your feet, whether it's zone read, whether it's a scramble, whether it's QB design runs, things of that sort. But I think it's a tool that could be an advantage for us. But, understanding, when to use your legs, how to be smart at taking hits, things of that sort when our team needs to play to use it.
Do you ever slide? Do you know how to slide?
I do know how to slide. I grew up playing baseball. I do know how to slide. I think I choose my times smart when there's a lot of guys around there, but I think if it's kind of one-on-one or things of that sort, need a play that, I don't really want to slide. Usually the refs are kind of stingy on it and mark us down pretty late when we, when we slide, it's kind of tough on the spot. So, at that point, you might as well just run through somebody. Okay, perfect. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I think just believing in the guys around us and not putting too much on my shoulders. I think I was always trying to be perfect and make the perfect play, but I think now just letting guys around me be the guys and be athletic and not really be too tight playing. I think that's something that I've learned and seen myself grow in that aspect. I think it was a mindset of coming in and not trying to be too much, not trying to do anything outside of my job. And I think that's something that Coach Riley really implemented into myself and our team was just be yourself, do your job, execute it at a high level, and you don't need to do anything outside of that.
We're going to go right here.
Last question.
Oh, wow. Last question. Hey, we're going to go a little bit light, right? There's a lot of speculation about your future. We're from the Bachelor. The question wants to know is, would you ever be the Bachelor?
Yeah, so I actually have a girlfriend. Yeah, so I do have a girlfriend. She enjoys watching the shows, though, so I've been able to sit with her and see all the fun stuff. I know, there's pretty some cool stuff out there, but yeah, I have a girlfriend right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is 1 minute remaining in the TCU media session.
My ideal first date, I think going to some sort of experience, whether it's a concert, a baseball game, things of that sort. because maybe it's a first date, you don't know each other, it's not awkward, there's something live going on in front of you. I think I've heard too much stuff about like first dates when it's like you go to dinner and you don't know what to talk about. So I think going to some sort of live event is, I took my girlfriend to a baseball game, a Rangers game. So there you go. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.